Vianna and I visited last night. Lotto, you good? Audio good? And we were talking about what's happened with me over the last year. It was about a year ago this time that I was doing some work for Vianna, and she says, Joe, you need to come take the classes. You can't understand what we're doing. I spent 30 years in advertising and marketing, and I was an uptight suit, as I like to refer to my old life. I was always stressed out. I was miserable. Thank you. I was overweight. My health was bad. I had insulin resistance, which is a pre-diabetic condition. I had been born with a birth defect in that my left leg was shorter than my right leg, so I have what's called a lumbar scoliosis, which is a curved spine. So I went through my life never being able to do lots of physical activity in terms of lifting and carrying heavy things without throwing my back out. Several years ago, I was caught in a cave-in, and I was down in a pit connecting a water line, and the sidewall caved in on me. And as I was standing up, the sidewall gave way, and it pulled my leg apart. So I have no anterior cruciate in my right knee, and most of the meniscus, which is the cartilage in the knee, is gone. So consequently, I couldn't get on my knees. So I was kind of a mess. And Vianna says, Joe, you need to take the classes. I said, oh, I kind of understand it. I've read the book. She goes, no, you need to take the classes. So I started with basic and went on to advanced. And then I got to take this most amazing class called Intuitive Anatomy. And I was a little reluctant when I first started taking the classes because I believe in Vianna. And I've known her for, 15, 16 years now. And she's done amazing things to me. But I was very, very hesitant or dubious in that she could teach me that I could do this kind of thing. And so I took Intuitive Anatomy, and I have to tell you, as we children of the 60s like to say, it was a mind-blowing experience for me. And I didn't know where I was going to go after the class was over. I kind of thought maybe I'd go into healing, but it didn't work out that way for me. But oftentimes, and I don't know if you've heard the story before, but Vianna talks about the man that came in and all he really wanted to do was be a gold trader. And after he went through the classes, he actually ended up going forward and being a gold trader. So anyway, I was particularly struck by that story. So after I finished my classes, I went off and went into the world not knowing what I was going to do. But what I found was I was going forward and I was no longer afraid. I was no longer afraid of failure. I was no longer afraid of my health. I was going to live the life that I wanted to live. And Intuitive Anatomy gave me that confidence to do that. Something about being able to talk to the Creator of all there is and knowing that the universe can be on your side if you simply believe that it can be on your side was utterly empowering to me. And what I always wanted to be was an artist. But I couldn't draw. I couldn't paint. I could sculpt a little bit, but I wasn't very good. But I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to make something with my hands that people would like and they would buy and that I could make a living doing. And so I ended up being a concrete artist. I am a statuarian, if you will. I think I made that word up. I can't find it in a dictionary. But I make statues and I make fountains. And here it is a year later, and I am a very, very happy man making concrete statues and fountains and art for the outdoors. I went into this business and everybody thought that I was absolutely crazy because I have a bad back and I have a bad knee, and now I'm going to go spend my day lifting literally tons of weight per week, working on my hands and knees with my molds and my forms. And I would come home at night and I would be broken and I would be so sore. And I would sit in my hot tub and I would go into the theta state and I would start healing myself. And today, I don't have any problems with my back. I don't have any problems with my knees. I've lost about 10 pounds, maybe 15 on a good day. I have muscles where I never had muscles before. Really. My wife looks at me in a whole new way. My knees give me no problems. My insulin resistance has gone. And I went back and had my doctor specifically check it and run the numbers on me. and it went from 3.75 back up into the 8s where it's supposed to be, whatever the account was. And so along the way, I helped a young lady. Her aunt called me and said my niece just had an aneurysm, a break in the blood vessel in the brain, and she asked me to help. And this was probably October of last year, and I went to the Theta State. I could see that young lady lying in that bed in Salt Lake City. We went in and we saw the tear in the blood vessel. I asked the Creator to fix it. I witnessed it. We removed the blood that was in the brain. I got a call and I called the aunt and I said, honey, I've done what I can and this is what I've witnessed. I don't know what's going to happen from here, but I see this thing. The doctors went in to check on this little girl. She was about 11 years old. The next morning, and her eyes fluttered open she was in an induced coma. Her eyes fluttered open. She grabbed the doctor's hands and started talking to him and was able to squeeze his hand. She had paralysis on the right side. Today, she's back in school and back to playing soccer. And so I've witnessed Theta miracles. I have a friend who's dying of cancer, and I'm working with him. But his soul has gone through some pretty traumatic medical issues to this day, and we're working on his transition because he wants to go home. And so I just wanted to come and share, as the LDS people like to say. My roots are LDS. I'm a Mormon, well, a Jack Mormon. But our LDS roots like to say that we always come and bear our testimony. And I've had such a warm feeling for intuitive anatomy and the people that come and make it through this class and are ready to transform their lives, that I just wanted to come in this morning and share with you my testimony. And that is that Theta healing works, and it's real, and it happens. And I'm not here saying this because I have a Theta practice I need to hold on to or to promote. I don't make any money from Theta healing, but I've used Theta healing for me. It's transformed my life. It's allowed me to become the man I've always wanted to be, the person that I've always wanted to be. I've used it for me, and I've used it for others. And I just wanted to say, I went forth into the world saying, I'm just going to see what happens now that I've been awakened. And I walk in the light today. Every time, and I must say, I'm not, like the gold trader, I'm not wealthy. I struggle every day to make payroll. Huh? Yet. I'm happier than I've ever been. And what's amazing to me is through that process, I'm not chasing money anymore. I'm chasing quality life. My daughter and I work together. So I have an 18-year-old daughter who wants to go to college, but she said she wanted to take a year off. And I said, okay, come spend a year with me and start this business. I spend time with my daughter every single day, and we have meaningful life together. My nephew comes, works with me. My 14-year-old twin boys that we adopted come work with me. And so my family is working together and we're living together. We're not 5 different people living in the same house under the term of a family. We're really living and loving and working together, making our way in the new world.
You knew me when I had cancer.
I was there. I saw Vienna limping. I knew that she had that cancer. I was there daily. I worked in the office next door to where Vienna worked. And so when I say I was there daily, I watched Vienna come in and out. Her best friend Chrissy worked for me at my office, so we were very tight. I witnessed that, folks. I wasn't there at the exact moment of the instant healing, but I can tell you that one day Vienna had a very sore leg and was limping and very concerned about her long-term health prospects. And shortly thereafter, that situation was gone. And that's part of why I wanted to come today. I wanted you all to hear it from me, but I'm not a teacher of the modality. I'm not making my living from this. I live with Theta healing. I live for what it does for my life. And that's the thing I wanted to share with you as you go forward to this. I know some of you are thinking probably that you want to go out and do a practice and that you want to make the world a better place. And sometimes, just sometimes, Theta healing will give you that. And sometimes it'll just allow you to see the world as it's meant to be seen. Thanks for listening to me. I just wanted to share that with you. And thanks and praise be to my teacher, because without her I wouldn't be sitting here with you.